Par 4, 6th hole. Fred Couples for birdie to move within one of the lead. The champion in 1984, Fred Couples, moves into a tie for second place. Now to the 5th, the par 4, Colin Montgomery with a chance to move within one of the lead. And Monty, who has lost over 30 pounds in the last 3 months, is a very big part of this picture. And now to the 4th, and the leader, Tommy Tolles. Roger there.
From the dead center of the fairway, 120-yard pitching wedge. Good looking shot. It should come down the hill toward the flag. Got to worry about it spinning back too much. These greens are really damp, John. Certainly anything in a low area.
That was a good looking shot right there, but he puts a lot of spin on the ball. A very crisp swinger.
To 13.
Here we go. This on tape a moment ago. Wayne Grady is 8th birdie and a share of the lead at 14 under par. Back to 4.
David Duval, who grew up in the Jacksonville area and as a young aspiring golfer would come here with his dad, Bobby, a golf pro, and look for his favorites, try to get autographs on his golf cap. Now trying to win this big championship, which would be his first PGA Tour win.
On the very left side of the fairway, a little bit blind from the hillside ahead of him, 110-yard pitching wedge. Ball to come back and left. It should.
And so play underway, the final round of the Players Championship from the TPC at Sawgrass. Welcome back. We're at the par 4, 6th hole. Second shot for Colin Montgomery. One off the pace of Wayne Grady and Tommy Tolles. Gary?
Dick Collin has hit just another perfect tee shot. He's in the left center of the fairway. 120 yards to the front edge of the green. Flag on 13 more. It's down in the low area to the left part of the green, and anything slightly right of the flag will spin right down toward the hole. Should be just a nice, comfortable 9-iron.
Montgomery is now 32, Europe's #1 player last year, leading money winner the last 3 years in Europe.
Very impressive win in Dubai 2 weeks ago. Really his first chance at showing off his new physique, and he's won there, and I think he was close to being the best player in the world coming into this year, and this might have been the difference.
It's a good looking shot. It's going slightly left of the flag.
To 14, Dan?
And the 4th shot of Wayne Grady here at 14, Dan Poole.
Well, pretty straightforward bunker shot.
Oh, he hits the stick.
Dan Hicks, he had 219 yards to the flag and came over top of a 2-iron, hit the tree, and then he got a little cute with his 3rd shot, left it in the bunker. Tough putt to say bogey.
And he's only bogeyed just 1 hole to go along with the 8 birdies. Back to 4.
And share the lead with Grady. Tommy Tolles for birdie to take the lead again. And the 29-year-old who makes his home now in Flat Rock, North Carolina, reclaims the lead at -15 to 7.
Fred Couples, 167. To the par 4, 7th.
No, it's not.
Ready birdie 3, 5, and 6. Stands one back of the co-leaders, Grady and Tolles, and back to 4.
David Duval at the 4th for birdie. And a good opportunity lost for the 24-year-old Duval, who makes his home here in Ponte Vedra. Current leaderboard, Tolles back in the lead, Grady 1 back, Fred Couples and Colin Montgomery, 2 big golf names, only 2 off the pace. As you check the elite field and win this championship, you know you have beaten the best. Fred Funk, another local, he's moved here to Ponte Vedra. Let's go to the 7th.
All right, Dick, this Fred Couples now for a share of the lead. for his third straight birdie. And just left it out a little bit. But that par at 7 will keep him one back at 1,300.
Stand, please.
.96 scoring before the cut. Final round, one of the best. This is just the 5th event that Freddie's played in 1996. Let's move ahead to 14.
And this for Wayne Grady's bogey. It'll break right to left up the hill. And Wayne Grady suddenly has come to a halt. A double bogey at 14, and he's back to 12 under, back to 8.
Phil Mickelson, even par for the round. This is second shot to par 3 8th, and he has fooled around with this shot for some time. Very bad lie. And look at that, didn't even get it to the green. This course can be awfully mean with a poor shot. Let's go to 6.
This par 4, Ernie Els and Gary Koch is there.
Dick Ernie's second shot from the fairway bunker guarding the left-hand side of the fairway came out a little long, and he's gone over the green into the fairly thick rough. Pretty difficult little pitch because he needs to really judge the speed as he's coming down off this shelf down to the lower level where the flag is cut. That's got to slow down.
So Els, who at age 8, his birthday present was Jack Nicklaus's Guide to Golf. That's part of his inspiration. He was more a tennis player then. Nicklaus, who has won this event 3 times, all 3 before they moved to Ponte Vedra.
We have some interesting pairings today. Some made in heaven pairings, really, you know, really with Grady playing with Elkington. You can see his lie up against that little collar. Yeah, he's going to blade it with that sand wedge. Well, he just picked it right out of there. Let's take a look at that. He just did a little brush is what he did. He just set it in there. It looked like he was going to blade it, but just took a normal, watch a nice brush. Didn't have to hit the ground. That's a lot of people think you got to take a divot if you're a pro. At least the perception is, but those chip shots, you're better off just brushing it off.
Let's go to the 5th. Par 4. David Duval, second shot.
Well, both players have driven the ball perfectly here. David Duval is away, has 179 yards to the flag. Going to go with a 6-iron pin set on the right side of the green, just past midway back.
He's been tied for the lead in this tournament for greens in regulation, 83%.
Well, I talked to him before the round today, Dick, and he says he's very pleased with all aspects of his game right now, particularly his iron play. And as you know, Johnny, this is an iron player's paradise here at this golf course.
It is.
This ball started the center of the green, working right toward the flag. Good looking golf shot.
Birdie chance for Duval, who is currently 2 behind the leaders, to 8.
Now, Phil Mickelson has played his 3rd shot to here, this for a bogey. And it just stayed up on the high side, and Phil drops 2 shots. Let's go to 5.
Tommy Tolles from 177 yards, also with the 6-iron, bringing it in from right to left, but hanging it out slightly.
A good bounce, Roger.
Got the bounce off the slope?
Yep, that's a good one. Just behind the hole.
Tommy Tolles enjoys a 2-shot lead as the final groups playing on the front side. Fuzzy Zeller, Vijay Singh of the group at 11 under as play continues.
Second place, 2 strokes behind Tommy Tolles, just with a 4-iron. Hole playing 216 yards today. And look at this shot. Oh. Fred Couples knocks it stiff. Woo. Let's go back to 12.
Fuzzy Zeller from 110 yards, 11 under par for the championship. Pin cut, left portion of the green today.
And at 5, David Duval with his birdie putt. So he moves up a notch. 13 under, 2 behind Tolles, his playing competitor today. And this then for par for Tolles.
Well, his first putt was one of the few bad putts we've seen him hit. Pulled it badly. This is pretty much straight in.
So Tolles leaves 5, still with a 2-shot lead. Couples, Montgomery and Duval sharing the runner-up spot. And Duval and Tolles playing the final group today, buddies and competitors on the Nike Tour. David back in '93-94 won the Wichita Open and the Nike Tour Championship, while Tolles captured the Ozarks Open. Let's go to 17.
All right, tee shot, David Frost. Yardage today 140. Pin in the traditional Sunday pin position, and this a thing of beauty for David Frost. He stands at 10 under par. Back to 12.
Larry Mize currently 11 under par for the championship. Started the day at 8 under. Has picked up 3 strokes. About 12 feet from the hole, putting down the hill. It should go slightly to his left. If he makes this, he'll be within 3 strokes of our leader, Tommy Tolles. Oh, Lord, how did that miss? Ball flattened out at the end. It looked like it was breaking right in the hole. This hole's been giving up a lot of birdies today as we go back over to number 7.
Okay, John Schroeder at the 439-yard par 4 7th. Colin Montgomery, 179 yards. Eagle 2, birdied 5, stands at 13 under, 2 back of the championship leader, Tommy Tolles.
Bob, that was a 6-iron, and he loves these right pin placements. Moves every shot left to right. It's going slightly right of the flag.
Gary, closest we've seen so far today. I hit to 8.
Fred Couples, where he has this putt of some little inside of 2 feet. Just inside the right edge of the hole. That's it. Fred Couples goes to 14 under and just 1 stroke behind Tommy Tolles. Fred off birdies at 3, 5, 6, and 8. One here in 1984. And let's go back to the 7th.
That's Ernie Els standing in the fairway. Gary Koch, you've been with this pairing all day.
Well, as sharp as Montgomery has been, Els has been dull. He has hit several very indifferent shots. Just hasn't seemed to take advantage of the few good ones he did hit. He's missed a couple of short putts. And right now needs to get the momentum going in the other direction. 174 yards. Taking a 7-iron, and he's going to have to stomp it.
Played very indifferently in '96.
This is good. A little left of the flag.
That's Ernie Els' ball. Colin Montgomery up there close to the hole location at 7 to 12.
Fuzzy Zeller to go 12 under par. 5 feet, pretty straight putt, slightly downhill. He cannot believe that ball went to the right. Boy, there's a lot going on today. Birdies are coming from all over the place as Tommy Tolles tries to hang on. Stay tuned.
Welcome back at the par 4-6 second shot for Tommy Tolles, leader by 1.
See a little uphill lie there, that swale. Very high shot. Right underneath the hole. Get a lot of spin. He puts more spin on the ball than the average pro.
Now the second shot of his playing competitor Duval.
That a 9-iron from 133. Just left of the flag.
Popular little spot there.
Ahead to 7.
And the birdie attempt of Ernie Els.
Bobby's got about 15 feet. Should swing a little bit from his left to right.
Ernie with just one bogey at 6 stands at 9 under and ahead to 15.
Par 4 15th. Grady for par. Check that. That was for bogey, we now understand. So Wayne Grady falling into some tough times here the last 3 holes. Back at 7. To update the leaderboard, Fred Couples, who won at just 24 years of age here. Just one off Tommy Tolles' lead. And the pressure is on the young 29-year-old Tolles from these top players. Colin Montgomery, one of them. He's only 2 back.
I was thinking along those same lines, but the more I thought about it, I was thinking, you know, nobody doesn't have pressure, and so I'm not so sure the pressure is much different on Tolles than anybody else because they all want this so badly. So, you know, Colin would love to win this thing, obviously. He's had a lot of close calls in big tournaments.
Well, that's a good start, Johnny. Eagle at 2, birdie at 5, birdie at 7.
I really do believe he could be the best player in the world at the end of this year. He's very close right now. And when I said this losing the weight, he was so close, just that little bit of extra, sort of like Peter Jackson when he did his little weight regimen and got in shape, and what it did for his game.
Fuzzy Zeller off the tee at 13, 175 yards. This hole has yielded a lot of birdies today. And Fuzzy will have a crack at another one. Back to 6.
And our final group, Tolles and Duval, each in quest of their first PGA Tour win. Roger?
Well, this putt from about 18 feet from the fringe doesn't do a whole lot. Might move a little left as it loses speed. Bounce back from a shaky start after bogeying 1. Birdies at 2 and the last hole 5.
Roger, these greens probably have as many putts that will break towards the back of the green or want to go that way as any greens anywhere. We have that at 18. Many of the greens will do that, and it's tough to, you know, make yourself play a putt that'll break towards the back of the green or not break at all, because they just always usually break to the front.
Well, they're very tough to read, that's for sure. This one a little bit uphill. And never hit it.
He wouldn't have made it anyway. I don't think he'd have read that break as well as you did, Roger. Just hard to do, even though he's a local boy and he knows this course probably as good as anybody.
To the longest hole on the course, the par 5 9th, 582 yards. Second shot for Couples.
295 yards out, so he's trying to lay it out to whatever his magical number is, which is probably about, oh, if I was guessing 90, 95 yards. So he needed to hit that about 200 yards. I'm not so sure he's that close, but we'll see.
He and Montgomery both in about the same spot. Couples with 11 PGA Tour wins. Montgomery, looking for his first here on this soil, has 10 European wins.
Wayne Grady, this is second shot at 16, the reachable par 5, playing the easiest of all the holes today.
Dave Murray's got 246 to the flag, left front 224. It looks like he's got a 4-wood on. He's probably just going to try to put it up that left side and see if he can catch that slope and let it feed down towards the hole.
Well, I would think so with the 4-wood right at the television tower.
And this guy has not made a par since the 7th hole, guys.
He's getting over top of a lot of shots, hitting everything left. The last 5 shots he's hit have all went left.
Well, let's not forget he
got a
made
bit of a break there.
a ton of birdies along with it, but it's unbelievable. He just hasn't made a par.
At the 8th hole, Colin Montgomery.
Dave, that was a 3-iron. Ball's headed to the right. Going to need a break if it's going to catch the green.
Well, he did get the break, Gary. Rolls back on, and of course this also is a hole that where you just want to put it on the green. That's 3 here is not bad at all. Let's go back to 6.
Tommy Tolles for birdie. He went to school on David Duval's putt.
I'm telling you, look at his face. I mean, he is under control.
To 17.
Now, speaking of someone under control with this swing for years and years, Tom Watson. stands at 8 under on the tournament, 1 under on the championship, 1 under on the day. This is a 9-iron. Yardage 140. Whoa. It will stay up. That's the Tiger Woods spot on 17 when he won the U.S. Amateur. It is tee shot there. Made the birdie putt.
It gets everybody excited when he gets near that water on that hole.
Just a smile from Tom. Just a smile.
Interesting. His game used to be sort of out of control, tee to green, and unbelievable putter most of his career. Now he's, look at this reaction. And of course, now his career is totally under control, tee to green, and sort of out of control putting.
106 total.
Boomerang.
Now at the 9th, the 3rd shot for Fred Couples into this par 5.
107 yards out. Just, well, I'm not sure how far he hits a lob wedge, but or sand wedge. This is probably a big sand wedge. Aiming way left, as you can see.
Get out left.
And he lands a short right.
It's hard to believe he could hit it that far right at your feet.
Tommy Tolles at 7.
And he told me he is driving the ball so good, he just can't believe it. And he gets mostly carry. The ball's going a little right, which is a safe way to play it away from that water. He did the same thing on 18 yesterday.
Tommy Tolles continues to grasp the lead in this final round of the Players' Championship.
The Fred Clouk and the crew, these greens are so pure, it's almost, it just couldn't believe it this morning looking at the greens, but this is definitely makeable. Well, they went with a little pitch and run, and it looked like it was in. But these greens are so good. When you've got a 10-footer, it should be in.
To 13.
And Fuzzy Zeller for his birdie at 13. This will break from his left to right. Although you won't see much of the break, you can tell by the reaction that Fuzzy's missed it. And Fuzzy will remain at 11 under. Back to 7.
Second shot, Tommy Tolles, right rough, must go up over the trees. Pin is back right. But he does catch the edge of the green.
That's a pretty nice shot right there.
Very well done. To 16.
3rd shot of Wayne Grady, struggling a little bit from this downhill lie. Better slow down, Wayne. Better slow down. That lake's back there.
Starting at 8, you got to get this, Dave. Birdie, 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 bogey, birdie, birdie, double bogey, bogey, and then this.
Well, let's go to 9.
And for his par, Freddie Couples to stay 2 off Tommy Tolles' lead. At the turn, Couples 4 under par today, 14 under for the championship.
Well, that a good opportunity slide right there.
To 17.
And from the fringe, birdie attempt by Tom Watson. 3 over on the front 9, 4 under on the back. No, it just runs it by. Make his par 3. Keep Tom at 8 under for the championship. And a round of applause.
When the leaders make the turn, they are confronted with a diverse complement of holes, starting with the par 4 10th. A dogleg left 395-yard par 4. A good tee shot avoiding the fairway bunker left will leave the player with a short to mid-iron to an undulating green. The hole today cut in the right rear of the green, protected by the bunker front right. The 11th hole, a 529-yard par 5, tee shot to a very generous landing area, and players with superior length like Freddie Couples will have an advantage here. Their great distance gives them an opportunity of getting home in 2. This is the time for a player to make up some ground because chances like these are not as abundant later on. After playing the par 4 12th, a player is confronted with the par 3 13th. Left of the green is hazardous. Right of the green is also troublesome. A player must contend with a severe slope that cuts this green into distinct pieces. The par 4 438-yard 14th. The players want to avoid the fairway bunker left and the water as well to a generously wide fairway distinctly cut into two tiers. Lower left and upper right. The players will want to drive the ball on the right side of the fairway today to attack the pin, which is in the rear left portion of the green. In 1993, Nick Price stayed clear of the trouble on the left, but found the peaks and the valleys that blanket the right side. His approach was masterful. A birdie putt put him on his way toward becoming the Players' Champion that year. The par 4, 426-yard 15th. Dogleg right, protected by fairway bunker along the right-hand side. Players want to drive the ball as far right as possible, setting up a good angle. Second shot with a mid-iron to a pin today, which is cut in the right rear portion of the green. In 1987, Sandy Lyle showed how important the short game is. After missing the 15th green, he proceeded to put on a chipping clinic. He went on to win a 3-hole playoff. The 16th, a par 5, 497 yards in length. The players will want to avoid trees left, fairway bunker right, and a drive to this area will leave an opportunity to reach the green in 2. However, a bad tee shot, the player must lay up, leaving the ball in this shaded area well short and right of the trees that could block his 3rd. The go zone on 16 is from 245 yards and in. Players must carve their approach between the water right and the tree that guards the green left. Greg Norman has a propensity for getting home safely at 16, as he did here a few years ago. The par 3 17th is intimidation at its best, an island green that puts fear in the hearts of the game's bravest souls. Last year, Lee Jansen almost found the water, but a great par save from the lone bunker on this hole was the final piece to his victory puzzle. The par 4 440-yard 18th, annually the hardest par 4 here at the stadium course. Players want to drive the ball into this shaded area, leaving them a long iron second to an undulating green. Players want to avoid this deep bunker left of the green. Hole location today, left rear. In 1991, Steve Elkington's perfect drive came to rest in a divot, but a stellar 5-iron to within birdie range was the culmination of a spectacular day and the realization of becoming the Players' Champion. 9 of the toughest holes in championship golf. Patience and courage are a prerequisite for conquering the backside at the TPC at Sawgrass.
On the tee at 17. Steve Elkington with the 9-iron. Again, the yardage is 140. Up on the highest portion of the green. Elk stands at 11 under par on the championship, and back at 7. Birdie attempt. Tommy Tolles at 7. Should move right. Oh, he blows it considerably by. So again, it's worth a look at the leaderboard. Tommy Tolles at 16 under par, leads the championship, pursued by Fred Couples and Colin Montgomery. David Duval in the last pairing with Tommy Tolles. Elkington playing 17. Tommy Tolles did make his par at 7, so he maintains that 2-stroke lead. And let's move to 9.
Second shot for Colin Montgomery, currently 2 behind the leader.
Very surprising club selection here.
What side of that path do you want it? Central reservation. Central is a second.
Wow, that's some confidence right there.
Back to the 8th, par 3.
216 yards. Roger Maltby with this group. Roger.
Well, Tommy Tolles has the honor, and he has really played solidly today, Dave. He said he learned a lot from last week's experience and told me earlier today, say back on the 6th hole, he drove the ball in the right trees yesterday. Thought that was a mental mistake. Came out, hit 2-iron off the tee, and ended up making birdie on the hole today when he had to struggle for par yesterday. So he's learning from his mistakes, which of course is so important. This is a 3-iron.
It's on a 10, Raj.
It was thin and a little bit right. And it's got to get up, hits on top of a mound, and I can't see it.
Well, they got a pretty
from
good
here.
Blake, Rod. It bounced towards the green. It stayed in the second cut of rough, but better than at bunker where he'd have a pretty hard shot to play.
Well, that's the right side of the hole to miss on. You don't want it left.
And you can see his graphic for the last 4 years, 93, 94 on the Nike Tour, some wins there. And, of course, the PGA Tour, 2 years. Last year, his first year. This guy played very, very well. Only 2 bogeys in the whole tournament. Strong-looking players. We go back to Duval.
David also has 3-iron. Playing very well. This group was timed early on, but got back in position, so they're okay as far as the pace of play.
And you know who they're timing. It's not Tommy Tolles.
Well, David Duval is deliberate, that's for sure.
I've never seen a guy get ready, take so much time getting ready, and then get up or get partly up and always back off, it seems like. But he's a heck of a player.
Is that this ball is cutting away from the flag at the right center of the green? But on, not bad.
Not bad at all. He made one longer than that on Friday's round. Let's go to the 9th.
Par 5, third shot, Colin Montgomery.
Well, Johnny, as you pointed out, a very aggressive second shot. And talking to Colin earlier today, he said he has been displeased with how he's played the par 5s, wanted to be a little more aggressive. He's left himself 83 yards. Ball slightly right of the flag, turning in toward it if it's far enough.
Not bad.
To 17.
And the birdie attempt of Steve Elkington.
And you can see just how much it is raining, which isn't much. But what a putt. Oh.
Nice touch, Steve Elkington, who won the Players' Championship in 1991.
Well, it is Sunday.
And he is praying for a birdie as the final round of the Players' Championship continues to be. How long will Tommy Tolles hold up?
Tommy Tolles, second shot to par 3 8th. Better slow down. It's all right from a little downhill lie there. Was that lie bad? Well, let's go to 9 first.
At the 9th, chance for birdie. Colin Montgomery pull within 1.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Montgomery. You like this Scottish weather?
To 10.
170 yards. Perfect hole location for him. He's got a bit of a hook lie and a fade shot.
Don't be too far. No, no, no.
That's some real commentary between him and his caddy. Caddy says, don't be too far. He said, no, no, no.
Large vocal gallery cheering couples at 8. Duval.
This for a birdie. And he had to leave it short. David 13 under and 3 shots behind his fellow competitor that he's with, Tommy Tolles. He's going to wait and see what Mr. Tolles does.
Well, Dave Marr, you clearly noted that he has only made 2 bogeys for the whole tournament, but I'm not so sure people quite heard that right. But that's an incredible stat right there. You're thinking how, look at this little maneuver here. This is one way to see if your stroke is straight. Well, you'll have everybody trying that tomorrow on the practice green.
Oh, boy.
Especially if he wins. It works.
Well, he's got a great looking putting stroke, John.
Well, not every young player would be doing that in this opportune time in his life.
Well, you know, you talk about all the pressure and so forth. Let's go to 18 first.
And to finish his round, Tom Watson for par. Currently 8 under for the championship.
Sort of a tricky read here. This thing actually tries to go left. Players just cannot believe it. That's like I told earlier in the show. You get these putts and you just swear they're going to be straight or break right and towards the front of the greens, and they go the other way a lot of times.
Look at those 4 solid rounds for Watson.
He's a solid player nowadays. He really is.
Runner-up last weekend in New Orleans. Tommy Tolles still clinging to a lead of only 1 now. Colin Montgomery, Fred Couples in close pursuit. Go to the 10th. Fred Couples for birdie. He's 2 off the lead.
Very similar putt to the one he made at 18 yesterday, a little right to lefter. Good time to do it right here, Freddie. I think he thought he made it, and he just had maybe a titch too much speed is all. Good stroke.
The 92 Masters winner. He's searching for his 12th career title and 2nd here at the Players Championship. To the 9th tee, and the leader, Tommy Tolles.
Calling the driver. Of course, a par 5, 582 yards with a very easy front right pin placement. Easiest pin placement on the green, I think.
Tolles 2 under today. He has not bogeyed any of the first 13 holes at the TPC at Sawgrass in this championship. Here's John Daly.
On the tee at 13, 7-iron for John. 175 yards. This just a moment ago. Daly at 9 under as he came to 13. We'll catch a little bit of that slope.
I think he's the only golfer in the world when he's 90, his swing will be the perfect length.
This left to right birdie at 13. To get him there. That is the 14th birdie of the day at 13, the 4th for John Daly, and who knows? He's 6 off the pace, back to 9.
Jay Haas for birdie.
There's that very flat there around that hole, not much break, so they're going to see a slew of birdies here in the next little bit as we cover this hole.
Haas makes the turn even par today, 11 under for the championship. Back out to the fairway at 9. Roger.
Tommy Tolles first to play from the very right side of the fairway. Got a long iron layup here. The green not reachable in 2. Critical to get the ball in the fairway here, preferably the right center of the fairway. And got this ball going left. Needs to get down, and that will be in the bunker left, and behind those trees he has got big problems here. Bad mistake, John.
Yeah, it's surprising, but I've done it on that hole. Sometimes a layup shot is the toughest shot in golf because you lose your concentration a little. You see 40 yards to hit it in, and I guess you just don't focus.
Let's go ahead to another par 5, the 11th. Kenny Perry for birdie, and Perry's been on a run. He's birdied 4 of the last 5 holes to go 12 under. The leader after the first round, Perry, who shared it with Justin Leonard at 65.
On the proper tier, this green has got a couple different levels and a lot of break.
Perry, a Kentuckian, cheering the Wildcats win and advance to the finals last night.
It's another one of those putts from back of the green that does not break towards the front.
Let's go back to the tee. Fred Couples. 2 behind Tolles. One of the best rhythms on the tour. Would you agree with that, Johnny?
Yeah, it's just when I do clinics, I ask people who they think had the best swings, and I've done hundreds of these things, and people think this is the best swing in golf, and you analyze it, there's some things that aren't according to Hoyle, but when you look at the rhythm and the effortless action, it's unbelievable. And speed and power. And that one he put the hammer down, I'm telling you, but he's paying the price, got ahead of it. What happens when you pick up a lot of speed coming down, you have a good opportunity to miss it right. Let's take a look at this. He put the turbo boost on it right here. Took it back, nice casual backswing. See how steady, look at his leg action right here, how steady this is. Head is swiveling to the right a little, beautiful right there. Look at the windup. Now he comes into it, and the hip comes up, left hip is coming up a little, and you can see where his left elbow and the hands are open at impact, and goes right.
So into the trees off the right fairway is Fred Couples. Tommy Tolles, the man they're chasing. back at 9. Tommy Tolles and David Duval both in trouble trying to hit the smallest green on the course. Roger?
Well, Tommy Tolles has got huge problems here. He's got a very, very awkward stance with his feet up above the ball, a very steep bank behind him, got a tree in front of him that I don't know if he'll go under or try to go around. I would assume he's going to have to go underneath and work this ball from right to left, but this is not easy at all.
Roger, though, with this shot, he literally has the only pin placement that you could sort of have a shot at it, though, huh? I mean, he could hit a little low draw and hit it well short and run it up right onto the green.
It'd be a heck of a shot, John. This is tough.
Oop.
Came out left, caught one of the oak trees and has come down left of the bunkers. He pulled that ball a good 10 yards, John.
That's hard to do, you know, but I think the stance did it. He just can't. It came over the top of it. A lot of times when I'm standing above the ball, I pull him, and it seems to be what he did. Look at how much he's standing above it, plus his feet are at such a funny angle. And his last thought must have been, let's make sure I hook it. Yeah, head came up.
Ahead to 10, and Colin Montgomery off the fairway. Gary?
170 yards.
Yeah, that's the first fairway he's missed today. That's a 6-iron. It's going just left of the flag if it's up.
So Montgomery on the green side bunker. Back to Fred Couples. Dan?
Well, he's just going to take a little 8-iron or 7-iron, punch it down the fairway. Got a good lie in the pine needles. A good break. Just taking it up the left side low. Good play.
That's a smart shot there. He could have laid it up left if he wanted it where you were viewing there, but that was the way to go.
To 16.
Par 5, 16. Tom Lehman's second shot. This with a 2-iron. It's looking good if it just carries that bunker. And it did, right up into the green. Now watch this. It's going to break down just past hole high. Beautiful second shot by Tom Lehman. That's it.
Well, Tolles has no bargain from here. He has an oak tree that has one branch in front of his ball hanging out, and although it's only one branch, to get this ball anywhere near the hole, John, he's got to get it up in the air very quickly. Has to have a high trajectory, and it's really kind of in that glide pattern. If he could get out of here with 6, I'm sure he'd be very happy.
You can see he's looking at that branch you're talking about. This is a defining hole for him so far.
Get up. Well, he should be able to handle that from there. That's not a bad spot at all.
A lot better than hitting that branch, that's for sure. Let's take a look at that. He peaked on the last shot with his chin right before he hit it and came over it. And he has a tendency to do that on all of the shots. It'll be interesting to see if that continues, just being so curious. But you can't fault a guy that's made 2 bogeys in this many holes, and he'll probably chip this in for that matter.
Let's go to 11. Fred Couples' third shot at the par 5.
He's looking right at 134 yards, and the hard part about this is getting yourself to fly that ball all the way back to the flag, Johnny Miller. There's a little ridge in front of it, and if you put it anywhere short and left, it spins right down the hill.
And the reason why we talked about keeping it short of the hole over the green is pretty darn dead.
Just a good solid pitching wedge for Freddie. He's got it going right at it. It's the right stick. This is a good play here.
That's pretty good play.
So Couples in position for a birdie that would pull him within 1 shot of the lead. We go to Colin Montgomery at 10.
Well, Dick, his ball has come to rest against the rake in the bank of the bunker. He's going to mark its position, pick up the rake. If the ball moves, he's allowed to replace the ball in its original position.
Okay.
Let's go back to 9.
chip shot of Tommy Tolles. Says he's a terrible chipper. That's the book on him in college. I said, what have you done to improve that? He says, I'm still a bad chipper. He said, I just try to hit a lot of greens so I don't have to. But the book on him is he can't chip very well. And you can see that was a very simple chip there, Johnny, and he's run that well past.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times you might hit a bad chip and it might go in from there. He didn't even hit it straight.
It'll be the first time he's bogeyed any hole on the front side the entire week. Now
Well, he'd gladly take bogey right now, Dick.
Yeah. So he'll drop at least one shot. Colin Montgomery ahead of him is some difficulty as well. Fred Couples in birdie position, just 2 back. Tommy Tolles. He likes his privacy, does not want to be known. Moved to Flat Rock, North Carolina. He said there's only 1,000 folks there, a gas station, no police, and 3 golf courses, and no one knows who he is until this weekend.
Well, he sort of blew that last weekend, actually, in New Orleans, and then he really fueled it this weekend.
Ahead to 10, and the third shot of Montgomery trying to find a stance.
That's the one thing about this golf course is that, you know, it can be easy, but all of a sudden if you hit a few stray shots, you can get some lies you can't believe. It's mostly stances that you can't believe.
That for his par. Head to 16.
Tom Lehman, this for an eagle to get to 12 under. He's made 3 birdies so far today at 4, 12, and 14. This should move a little to his left. Well, he either pulled it or didn't play it, so he go to 9.
David Duval at the 9th for par.
Should move slightly right. Big save there.
So David Duval remains at 13 under at the turn and will be at least 2 shots from the lead.
Kenny Perry, currently 12 under par. Just to go 13 under.
Boy, that was quick.
I thought that ball was going to miss the left, Johnny. It flopped in on the right. And he's picking up some ground as we go back to 9.
Now this is for bogey for Tommy Tolles.
Tricky little putt. All stroked.
That shows me so much, Roger. I just can't believe how clutch that was.
It drops to 15 for the moment, shared with Montgomery, and if Fred Couples makes this putt, he will go to 15 under.
Oh man, that was a totally different stroke, Freddie. Just blurred the downswing from the backswing, didn't finish the backstroke.
Point well taken earlier, Johnny Miller. The veteran players have pressure as well. Tolles made that pressure bogey putt.
Well, watch this. It's just it probably won't show up in slow motion, but you can see he hits up on it, leaves the toe open. But if you come down before you're ready putting, it usually goes right.
Now Montgomery trying to save par. Remains at 15 under. And in a tie with Tommy Tolles for this Players Championship, with Fred Couples just a stroke behind.
At the 17th birdie attempt for Rocco Mediate. He has birdied 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. 5 in a row. Back to 11.
Tee shot, Colin Montgomery, co-leader with Tommy Tolles.
Important tee shot. Tolles 529 yards. I think he likes it. He stopped watching it, and it's got a little roll too for a fade. That was a good amount of roll.
Into the 12th tee, Fred Couples 1 off the lead.
Hitting a driver. This hole's only 336 yards. The fairway gets very narrow the further you hit it. I think he had a little anger in that shot, Johnny Miller.
Wow.
That is only about 55, 60 yards from the flag. He's got a great opportunity to pitch it close and make a birdie. Probably the most critical shot for Fred Couples in this championship. Second at the par 4 12th, 67 yards to the hole. Needs to put this in tight. And he did. 4-footer. Tie for the lead. To 13.
Long birdie attempt for Kenny Perry, 13 under, 2 back of the leader. It'll come down off the ridge and move right to left toward the water. Beautiful pace, just burns the right edge. Great putt, though, from that top of the ridge for Perry, and he'll remain at 13 under to 17.
Tee shot of Fuzzy Zoeller coming up birdie at 16. Fuzz with a 9-iron. The yardage is 140. Well done. Fuzzy stands at 12 under par for the championship. And another birdie chance.
And Tommy Tolles. Roger.
From the right side of the fairway, has 149 to the flag. And Johnny, this is one of those places out here. If the player was to err, he'd want to miss the green on the short side. Simple little chip, uphill chip from the right side of this green. Much better off than pulling the ball left into the center of the green and coming down that slope.
That's right. And as we noticed this morning when we were out there, if you hit it just left of the flag, though, it has a little bit of backboard sideboard effect and will feed down to that pin placement. Good birdie opportunity, though, but you got to shake off number 9, see if you can do it, standing above it.
It's a 9-iron. He's got it a little bit left of the hole. I don't think it's far enough right to catch that slope, though, John.
Well, he's probably pretty happy with that. Just whenever you make a bogey, you want to not make a bogey the next hole, obviously.
Ahead to 11, and Colin Montgomery at this par 5. Gary?
Going with a driver, 240 yards to the front edge, 268 to the hole. This is one aggressive play here.
Remember how aggressive he was at 18 at Dubai when he won it.
And he's hit a great looking shot if it just gets up a little.
Now caught the bunker fronting this green.
I think it just barely missed. That thing was tracking right on the middle of the green, too. What a great shot. You can see it right there. Leaves himself very, very difficult, long explosion sand shot. You'd have to be there to play it to believe what he's got to play.
To 12.
Freddie Couples, 8 feet. Dead flat putt, slightly uphill. He moved a little bit on his last one. Let's see if he can stand still. Stroke this firmly right in the back, just to tie for the lead. All right. And we got us a horse race. Freddie Couples is playing great. Colin Montgomery's playing unbelievably aggressive. Tommy Tolles has got a birdie putt at 10.
Fred Couples on the tee at the par 3 13th. You see the leaderboard story. He has caught Montgomery and Tolles at 15 under. Par 3, 175 yards today, and it was on Friday when Fred found the water hazard, which runs all along the left side of this hole all the way up to the green. He made a double bogey there.
Pin placement today, Dan, a little deeper into the green, so it's not the front part of the green doesn't become as bad a hazard. So you look to him to hang this out to the right. The pin sets up perfect for him, little right to left. Just a nice solid 7-iron for him.
Thin.
Well, he hung it out right.
Yeah, he came up out of that.
And it'll roll a little bit down to, there's a 3-tiered green here. That's the second lowest portion that it's rolling into now, and the pin's set in the lowest portion. So Freddie will have to come over that ridge. Ahead to 17.
Thank you, Dan Hicks. And a birdie attempt. Fuzzy Zoeller. Can he make it 2 straight? Yes, and Fuzzy moves to 13 under. 2 back of the 3 leaders. tremendous pressure on Fuzzy Zeller. Now let's move ahead to 18.
Second shot for Rocco Mediate. 5 consecutive birdies for this local resident.
Good angle to come into the screen from. 180 yards. Yes, Rocco.
Well, the tournament record is 6 straight birdies by Watson, Rummels, Wadsworth, and Azinger. Has a chance to tie that mark as we move back to 11. Third shot for Colin Montgomery at 11.
Oh, my word. That ball just a couple inches shorter would have backed right up there near the hole, but it caught in that downslope by the time it got finished skidding. Gutsy shot there. Whew.
Couples, Montgomery, and Tolles. Couples, a former winner. Montgomery, Europe's best, but looking for his first win on American soil. Tolles, he too, after his first PGA Tour win. As we go to 18, and this birdie, this is Mediate for his birdie, playing with Tom Lehman.
Not a lot of break here. Great opportunity to have the greatest finish in history of this tournament.
Rocco Mediate, birdies 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Oh man, that's exciting. Look at him.
66 for Mediate, who had herniated disc surgery a year and a half ago and finally feeling fit. And what a time to produce a string of birdies at home. A 66 today to match Patrick Burke's best round so far. Now Montgomery, 4th shot at 11, this par 5.
Not a particularly difficult shot, Dick. He's got a pretty good lie. Taking the flag out, he thinks he can hold it.
Back at 10, Tommy Tolles.
Moves a little right.
Heard that little huh. He wasn't happy with that effort. And the par for Tolles to remain in a share of the 3-way lead.
And back at 13, Fred Couples having to come over this ridge. Johnny, give us an idea of what challenge he has.
Well, you can see there's a ridge line that runs right here, and he's actually coming up just slightly to this point. And then, of course, now it drops probably a 1.5 feet into here. So he almost wants to stop it about right there. If he can make the ball almost pause right in that area, he's got a chance to get it close. Of course, he can make it going quicker, but that takes a chance of 3-putting. So I think it'll be one of those putts where you just want to get it close with option to get lucky.
Johnny, the good thing about this is you've got it pin high over there. If he's a little bit shorter, the putt really breaks hard left when it comes off the ridge. It's almost a straight putt coming down that hill. So basically, if he gets the right speed, look for this to be in tap-in range.
And you can see the best way to look at this putt is you can see the ball is about level with his caddy's hips. So once he gets to the halfway point, it's going to fall about the length of his leg.
And pick up speed. Still plenty of work left for Fred Couples, par at 13 to remain tied for the lead. And we'll move you up to 18.
And this just moments ago, Tom Lehman for birdie. And this 67.
And this man, he's playing with Rocco. He birdies 12, he birdies 14, he birdies 16, he birdies 18, which is an unbelievable finish unless you're playing with Rocco.
Lehman a 67, Mediate a 66 today to 14.
And Kenny Perry faced with this chip uphill to a back left pin placement. Very well done for Kenny Perry. Very much a part of the story at 13 under. Back to 11.
And Monty's par putt. Disappointed with a 5, a birdie hole from Montgomery. He took a shot at it with that long wood approach. Now to Tolles.
Boy, there's some club head speed right there.
Oh, he's way.
He doesn't like the look on his face. Might be right.
Yeah.
To 18, Fuzzy Zeller coming home. Second shot. Fuzzy off birdies at 16 and 17.
Perfect shot. Perfect shot for his draw, and he takes advantage of it. Very nice, Fuzz.
Another birdie chance to go 14 under for Zeller. Now to Couples.
And his par saving attempt.
Tricky little putt coming down this hill. If he hits a little firm, it may stay up on the high side. If he gives it a little less effort, it could break off to the right. So he needs to just hit this solidly left center.
Tempo, Fred.
In the center, Fred Couples pars the par 3 13th. A tie for the lead at 15 under par. Couples, Montgomery, and Tolles. And we'll be right back to the TPC at Sawgrass in a moment. Par 4, 438 yards. Ideal tee shot, right center of the fairway. And Fred Couples has busted this tee shot down the slope. Perfect position to go after a back left pin placement today. Back to 12.
As we pull back, Colin Montgomery second, par 4 12th.
John, that was a sand wedge, 104 yards. Needs to carry it all the way back to the hole.
He's done it, Gary. He's pin high about 10 feet to the right. Downhill putt for a birdie. Back to 11.
And David Duval.
That a 3-wood from 232 front edge, 260 the hole, but he's cut it. It's going well right, and that has to hustler is going to get water. Water.
That's a heartbreaking mistake by Duval.
That was a big opportunity right there.
Well, he is aggressive, and that's been his pattern in his years since Georgia Tech.
Well, there are those that feel he borderlines on cocky. He is certainly loaded with self-confidence. There's no question.
Where'd that cross the hazard? That'll be the interesting thing, Roger.
Well, I was in the right side of the fairway, John, and I really couldn't see from my angle.
At 18, Fuzzy Zeller with a big round this final round. This is for birdie. And a 66.
There's that putt that breaks to the back of the green.
Yeah, they love this man. Runner-up to Norman a couple of years ago. Checks in at 13 under on the front page of the leaderboard. 211. Tommy Tolles.
Tommy has about 108 yards to the flag. Perfect angle to go at it from this right fairway. Took his first peek at the leaderboard after putting out on 10, so he knows how he stands. Good looking shot if it's the right distance. Flirted with that back bunker, and that is no good.
Oh, Tommy Tolles still in a share of the lead with Fred Couples and Colin Montgomery. The leaders in the clubhouse are Rocco Mediate and Fuzzy Zeller.
Fred Couples getting ready for his second. 11 of 13 greens in regulation today. Dan Pohl.
Well, Freddie just busted a drive down here. He's only got 170 to the flag, and earlier in the day, guys were hitting 5 and 6 irons in here, and right now Freddie's looking at just a hard 8 iron. One thing he can't miss it is long. It's really kind of a sucker pin placement over there. You want to go at this at the flag, but if you go at it and miss it long or short, you're looking at 5. So look for this to start out right. Just put it in play. Give himself about a 20-footer. Well, he left it way right. It's in the center of the green.
And in the swale here at 14, Fred Couples at 15 under to 15.
Second shot into this par 4 by Kenny Perry. 2 off the lead.
Stay to the right.
426-yard hole.
Okay, good shot.
And not a bad shot at all. Probably with the 7-iron.
To 12, Colin Montgomery for birdie to take sole possession of the lead.
Pretty straight putt, about 12 feet, a little downhill.
Oh, that was a fast putt, wasn't it, John?
Yeah, it looked like he might have got it just a little bit right at the very start, but man, what a finish this is going to be. Fred Couples got a tough 2-putt to save par. Colin Montgomery breathing down his necks. Tommy Tolles with a birdie opportunity. It's going to be a great finish here at the Sawgrass GPC.
Back at the 11th, and Tommy Tolles is for birdie and the lead alone.
That's got a lot of speed. Watch out. He's run that a good 3 feet, 3.5 feet past the hole.
Ahead to 14.
And here is this lengthy birdie attempt that Fred Couples has.
Yeah, about 45 feet going up the hill. Pretty slow until it reaches the ridge. Once it covers over the ridge, it should pick up a little bit of pace. Break a little bit to his right. Tough to pick up the speed on this putt.
Well, Fred really hit it. You have to get it up that ridge, but a ticklish putt coming back down to save par. Ahead to 17.
John Daly with a pitching wedge from 140.
A little heavy.
So he hits it 137 with one hand. He stands at 9 under. Back to 15.
Kenny Perry for birdie. He'll settle for par with that short putt and remain 2 behind the leaders. Colin Montgomery.
On the tee, par 3, 13th. 175 yards, 6-iron. And that will feed a little bit. Not bad for Monty. Back to 11.
Tommy Tolles now trying to save his par.
Got to keep this putt inside the cup. Not much break in this back tier.
Tolles continues to share it with Couples and Montgomery. And we go to 14.
And Fred Couples trying to save his par. Does not have a bogey in his round today. This one coming back down the hill.
Well, under normal conditions, you'd say this is good, but these aren't normal conditions, Dan Hicks, and these can get away from you real quick, real fast. The pace goes down this hill, so he's just going to give this a little bit of a tap and just get it on line.
In the center, Fred Couples remains tied for the lead at 15 under.
One of the leaders, Fred Couples, teeing off at 15. Hasn't won in the United States since the '94 Buick Open 19 long months ago, and his fans are rooting heartily for him today.
Swinging well.
To 13.
Just 2 holes behind Couples. Colin Montgomery tied with Freddie. This to take the lead. Birdie at 13. Just didn't quite hit it enough. Back to 12.
Tee shot of our co-leader, I should say one of our tri-leaders, Tommy Tolles. Again, going with an iron. Hole only 336 yards long. The ideal play is up the center, right center of this fairway to leave you a shot where you can see the flag. There's some mounds at the left side of the fairway that can block your view of the flag. He's in good shape. This hole today has yielded 21 birdies, so Tommy Tolles has a great opportunity to get to 16 under from 115 yards, one of our tri-leaders.
Pin's right there.
He couldn't even see it, Johnny. He was behind that mound. But what a great shot.
Wow.
Great opportunity to go 16 under. That'd be the 22nd birdie on this hole today. Let's go over to 15.
And Fred Couples.
This from 156. Pin's way back, 30 back. He's got to carry it back on that ridge. He's just going to put a little nice move on an 8-iron here, bring it in high. Should set up real good for his shot here. If anything, you want to miss this a little left. Really swinging at these short irons well. And he's taking it in high, got it left to the flag a little bit.
Makeable putt.
Boy, Johnny Miller, the distance factor, 55 yards ahead of Scott Gump's drive, and he's bringing it in there with an 8-iron in comparison. You know, these long hitters are really taking advantage of this back nine.
It's 14.
Colin Montgomery off the tee, 438 yards.
Key tee shot.
Working it left to right. Should be in the center. Not real long, but in good shape.
Nice flat spot there.
Ahead to 16.
Second shot of Kenny Perry to the 497-yard par 5. Good looking shot. Just up the left side. Needs to move a little to the right. The slope ought to take it back down. A very good shot by Kenny Perry, who is at this point 13 under. With an iron, 222 yards. Probably a 3-iron.
I think a shot yesterday would have gone in if the pin wouldn't have been in the hole.
I did too, John, but he didn't have not having a very good day today, but that's a marvelous second shot here at the par 5, 16. Let's go to 14.
And Colin Montgomery getting ready for his second at 14. Gary Koch.
Dan, he's got 197 yards to the flag. He's taking a 4-iron. I think this is a crucial shot for Colin. He's got to be careful now. He works the ball left to right, and if he is going to go with this flag, he's got to bring all the trouble on the left into play.
And all that trouble are the trees and the bunkers, which stretch up along the green.
He is going right at it. What a brave shot this is. Took it left, trying to cut it back in. My goodness.
Ooh. What a shot by Montgomery. Just hit on the collar on the left portion of the green. And now
Tommy Tolles, 7 feet to go 16 under and take the lead. Center cut, and he is playing strong with great composure. He's got 5 very tough holes left to play. 6 very tough holes left.
Interesting expression there from him. He was just smiling. It almost looked like he bogeyed. So he actually goes the other way, if anything. And it's a good putt, too. He started straight in.
Kenny Perry, eagle putt to go 15 under. That's where it gets very fast, picks up speed, has a chance. Just out of the right side of the hole. Well, don't make very many of those, but he gave himself every chance there as Tommy Tolles takes a 1-stroke lead. And will he be the 4th straight first-time winner on the tour? Well, he's got some fast guns after him. Fred Couples at the par 5, 16th. You want to aim right at that crane and just hit a little draw if you can. Not the best shot for Fred.
Well, Dave Murray just killed that one. It's going up the left side, and this is big.
Well, as you pointed out, he can carry that ball a long way, and that did hit into that upslope a little bit there, Dan, but big drive. And let's go back to 13.
Tommy Tolles with a 1-shot lead at the par 3. Seven iron.
So just throw it in the middle of the green and let it draw back.
But
He has come up well right and short to 16.
Well, up on the green at 16, Kenny Perry to finish this off on in 2. This for his 6th birdie of the day, and to go to 14 under and an outside chance. Let's go back to 14.
Birdie attempt, Colin Montgomery after a gutsy approach shot. Feeding it down, and that is a rare birdie at 14 for Montgomery. Took a gamble going right at the pin, and it pays off.
Looks like it's in the middle of the cup, but takes a last-minute break, and wow, that was a well-played birdie, though.
14, the toughest hole being played today, as Montgomery ties Tolles at 16 under. Back down on the course, the Island Green at 17.
Thank you, Dan Hicks. On the tee, Kenny Perry standing at 14 under. Yardage is 140. He must shoot at this pin.
He's looking at it.
Will it feed down? No. The green is so soft that all balls have held up there, John, but he stands at 14 in the back of Tolles.
His heart wanted to go for the pin, but his brain said last minute, you're not going to the right.
Now Phil Mickelson started at 9, is 2 over for the day, 7 under for the championship. He birdied 16. And you see going out, birdie to start, bogey, double bogey at 8, bogey at 15, birdie at 16, 9-iron.
Bill. Come on.
We have some special fans there at 17.
Back to 13.
And Tommy Tolles surveying this long birdie attempt at 13. Roger?
Well, he's got every bit of 50 to 60 feet.
Real straight, right, Raj?
This has got a little bit right to left, John. This is a Pete Dye fun putt right here. This thing will go about 18 to 20 feet on the upper level, and then once it peaks over that, it'll run straight downhill and to his left.
And you can see that ridge. You can see that lighter portion is there is the ridge. He could almost miss this putt on the wrong side of the ridge if he didn't watch out. You know that, right?
You get real close to it. I mean, it's just a huge break, and he'll have to muster up all his composure to 2-putt here.
There you can see that shiny line there, that is the demarcation line of where the ridge starts to move left. Can't play too much break, can you?
Well, you could miss
the
ridge.
What I'm saying is if you don't end up on top, I mean, you know, it's going to go left of the hole.
And past, most likely. Tough putt. Well, it was paced well, but underneath the hole, really not too bad from there, John.
He just, you know, did as good as he could do. It was an impossible putt almost to get a gimme.
To 15.
Alan Montgomery. Par 4, 426 yards, but strays off the fairway left. Last year, Lee Jansen won this championship 5 under. Currently, there are 45 players better than 5 under. As fast and firm last year, this year, rain softened greens receptive.
Had some wind last year was a key thing, and the rough was about 3 times longer. That was, if there's anything controversial about this year's tournament, is that the rough was not grown up like it was last year, and they blame that on cool weather.
What's the total?
Brett Couples at 16, his second shot. Dan Poles with this group. Daniel?
Well, they're talking it over down here. He's got 201 to the front left, Dave, but 212 to the front right, and then 223 back to the hole. So I think he's got to go with a 2-iron to make sure that he carries it. If he does hang it out a little bit to the right, it carries that front grass bunker up there. But, you know, this is the problem with this. He's got an uphill line. The wind, there isn't a lot, but what is here is a little bit into him. So if it does do anything, it could upshoot a little bit on him. He has selected a 2-iron. Oh, and he's got it going high and left to right. This is the, might have blocked it though.
Oh, what a bounce. He got the bounce of it. That's like the bounce he got at number 12 at Augusta when he won.
Well, it didn't hang up on the bank like number 12 did, but it did bounce forward, which a lot of them have done from that area today.
Didn't it bounce left, too?
Just a little bit, John. If he carried it a little farther, it might have gotten wet, but it landed just on the downslope. Look at him, wondering, hoping. Missed it.
He's going, oh, really?
In the crowd.
They like that?
Just dawning on him. Uh-oh, little grin there.
I don't know if you see something we didn't see, Dave, but from our angle, look like it would hit right there and just plop in the water. But
no, the bank goes the other way there, John. And Fred this week has had a little bit of what you've got, you know, a little bit of that problem with the cold or something.
Well, whatever that was, he'd like to have it be contagious.
That's right. Let's go to 15.
And Colin Montgomery sharing the lead with Tommy Tolles. His second shot, Gary.
Well, he's drawn a poor lie in the left rough, 197 yards, 167 to the front. Taking a 5-iron. Just hoping to carry the ball around the front part of the green and have it release and run back to the hole. Well, he landed it just right. I don't know if it'll get through that hollow or not.
To 13.
And Tommy Tolles' crucial par-saving putt. Very solid, and he remains tied with Montgomery at 16 under. Couples just one off the pace at 15 under.
And you can see the hole in the middle. It's number 15. Let's take a look at this shot. He's given up on it right now. He thinks it's definitely in the water. And you can see it hits the side of that hill there, which you couldn't tell from the other camera angle that it was sloping so much to the left. You'd think it would hop straight and hang on the board or go in, and it just ricocheted straight left, which pretty nice break, actually.
Well, John, if it hadn't been sloped to the left, you're right. You know, it would have bounced probably straight into the water. But the way it is, it kicked to the left, and a number of them have with that. It looks like a little sort of a bowl there. So let's go to 17.
All right, Dave Marr standing 2 back. Kenny Perry for birdie.
It's a fun putt. You just get it started and let the hill be your friend.
It would be his 7th of the day, no. So he'll make his par 3. He is at 14 under. 2 back of Colin Montgomery and Tommy Tolles in the final round of the 1996 Players Championship.
Back at 15, Colin Montgomery for birdie. He's gone a good distance by. Currently tied with Tommy Tolles at 16 under for the championship lead. Speaking of Tolles, 14.
He is out in the fairway. So is Roger Maltby. Roger.
Tommy's got 189 to the flag. Wind now slightly against, not a lot of it. But this is a real sucker pin here. You shouldn't aim here. Right of the hole would be fine. And he's got this ball going at the center of the green.
Good safe shot by Tolles, unlike the route that Montgomery took. He went right at it. And the MetLife blimp capturing all of these beautiful shots high above the TPC at Sawgrass under the command of pilots Russ Adams and Charlie Graham, powered by twin engines that reach speeds greater than 57 miles per hour. Snoopy 1 can navigate at altitudes in excess of 6,000 feet. Not even a breath of wind here today. Very unusual in the Jacksonville Ponte Vedra beach area. And we'll move you to 15.
And Colin Montgomery now with this little tester for his par. He tied for 9th here in '94. He told us he happened to be in the weight room at the hotel, came down and jumped on the scales. He had a smile on his face, and I said, "What do you have?" He says, 216. He said, from 250. He said, "I'd like to get to 206." He said, I don't feel I've lost any power, and yet by losing all that extra weight, I feel so much freer in my swing. Couples for eagle in the top left. Montgomery for his par.
Couples for eagle. It's going to break left. Oh man! Fred Couples, eagle, goes to 17 under and a one-shot lead. Woo! What a time to get a good break, and what a time to hold a putt. I wonder if there's a more popular player in the world of golf than this man right here. One eagle, 5 birdies today for Fred, 7 under, not a bogey.
Well, if you look in the Webster's next year, it'll have under serendipity, it'll show Fred Couples' 16th hole.
And just when you need it. All right, just from off the green.
That's what great players do. They take advantage of great breaks.
And just to confirm the popularity, Dave Marr, here at 18, this big gallery saw it on the huge screen and they cheered as loud as those who saw it eyes on.
Wow. That is some eagle.
Well, those are the things you never forget, right, John? After it's all over and a long time from now, you'll be thinking about that if he goes on to win, obviously.
Well, as Fred Couples walks to the tee at 17, past winner, he was 24 years old, a very youthful Fred Couples. He was boom boom then. As Dick Enberg said earlier, his last win was the 1994 Buick Open. This just his 5th event of 1996 because of back problems.
Well, it's a long walk, but it makes it a lot shorter and sweeter when something like that happens.
Now this is Couples' 13th Players Championship. He has dealt with the island green many, many times before. This week he's played 17 in birdie, bogey, and a par yesterday. Now let's move back to 14.
Tommy Tolles for birdie. And Roger, I imagine Tommy Tolles, even though it's a little ways away, 16, heard the roar.
That roar was very loud over here, and David Duval looked at me and asked if somebody had made a 1 at 17 or a 2 at 16. I just shook my head no to either one of those. But they took a look at this leaderboard here to the left of the green, and they know Freddie made eagle at 16.
And there he is at 17. Trump.
All right, thank you, Dan Hicks. Fred Couples has come from 4 back when this round started to take the lead with that eagle at 16, yardage 140.
Trump, it's time to regroup a little bit. I think that walk over, the people are just going nuts along this 17th here. And, you know, if you can't get excited about golf right now, you just, you're not a golfer. This is great stuff out here. But this yardage for Freddie is perfect yardage, 140. It's just a solid 9-iron. He's got a little bit of wind behind him. The flag's just sitting there still, but there is a little bit of air up behind him, right to left. Should be just a nice solid 9-iron. Got a perfect backdrop back behind it, so if he does hit a little bit firmer, ball should come back towards the hole.
Thank you. 33 and 6. Exactly.
satisfied. 216.
Colin Montgomery now 1 shot back. This at 16. The hole at Couples just eagles.
Sort of got a thin fade going, but hits the downslope.
Well, it's not a hole that sets up good for his left to right kind of shot, but now his second shot set up nicely as we go back to 14.
And Tommy Tolles, this 4 par to remain 1 back. Solid. He's still got 15. Remember, he's got the par 5 16th to deal with, so it's far from over. As Fred Couples safely on the island green at 17 stands by himself atop the leaderboard.
Let's move ahead to 18, gentlemen.
And Kenny Perry currently resting in 4th place, 3 from the leader Couples for par. A lot of money on this putt. That drops him back to share 4th Rocco Mediate and Fuzzy Zeller. A 69 for Perry today. He led with a 65 in the opening round. At this famed signature hole at the TPC at Sawgrass, and the walk up on the green for the leader Fred Couples. Colin Montgomery on that 16th is in the fairway, and that's a birdie, maybe, as Couples has shown us, an eagle hole for him.
And his shot, he has the most perfect shot for this whole location that you can have. Just whether or not he is gutsy enough to try. He tried it on 14, pulled it off like nobody else. And right now he can just aim right at the NBC sign right there and just drift it right and work it off that hill. So of course he knows that he is not ahead, or he's behind Freddie from the roar, and I'm sure his caddies have informed him. So he's going to probably play aggressively.
Well, Johnny, he knows just where he stands. He has been looking at every leaderboard, and his head jerked around when he heard the roar from up here at 16. He has 232 yards to the hole, 210 to the front. He has taken a 3-wood. The only difficulty with the shot, a little bit of a right to left side hill lie.
Solid contact.
It's too far right. It needs to go. Needs to go.
Oh, my word. That hurts.
So Montgomery wet at 16. And now to Fred Couples at 17.
And Dick, the experience of Fred Couples, he waited for Montgomery to hit that shot. He was not going to address this putt until that ball was in the air.
And what a difference 3 feet made on that hole for those 2 men.
When he watched the ball splash right in front of him, right as a line. It's about 22-footer coming down the hill. This will be going very slow as it approaches the hole.
A 3 and then a 2 for Fred Couples, and the cheers reverberate throughout the TPC at Sawgrass.
The loudest roar I've ever heard in my life was 13 at Oak Hill at the Ryder Cup by Fred Couples when he holed it out off the green. And I think he's just done it twice the last 2 times. And you talk about head down, cannot believe what's happened.
C17 beyond Colin Montgomery. And just underline your point, Johnny Miller, at 16, Couples approach, hits the bank, goes left, he makes eagle. Montgomery 3 feet to the right of the bank, goes in the water.
Probably going to make 5 or 6. It's just this game is a game of inches.
Gentlemen, one additional note. First, let's go back to 15.
Roger.
Well, that roar was very loud for Freddie Couples, 2 at 17. Tommy Tolles turned and smiled. Interesting how in such a slow game how fast it can go. Johnny, through no fault of his own, he parred the difficult 14th hole, one of the hardest holes in the course, and is now 2 shots back. This is 7-iron from 172 yards. Left of the hole at the very left side of the green.
Roger, I just don't think he had a clue that Fred Couples is going to be 8 under at this point for the round.
And now Couples marches toward 18 as the gallery building around him.
But let's not forget, this is a hole that can cause his own share of troubles.
He's par birdie in the previous 3 rounds.
He would like to enjoy that last 2 holes with the gallery. He would love to, but he's a veteran enough to just totally ignore it and say, I'm not getting excited. I got some work to do. About 15 minutes, I'll get excited.
Remember what Tom Watson told us last week at New Orleans? He said the 2 toughest shots are the bad shot and the spectacular shot. You've got to pull yourself back together. He certainly showed us after 16 that he has learned that lesson well.
And this scorecard, you got to see this scorecard. I mean, this is a final round Players Championship. Birdies 3, 5, and that's other ones in the front 9, and 12, 16, Eagles 16, of course, birdie 17.
No one's ever shot lower than 65 in the final round of this championship. A par at 18 will give Couples a 64.
The 4th shot of Colin Montgomery desperately needs to get up and down to stay 16 under and just a stroke back. So he's left himself about 10 feet, about 2 strokes back, I beg your pardon. This Couples has gone to 18.
And Couples owns the record here, Dave, on this course, 63.
And Fred Couples yesterday on 18 hit the most beautiful soft draw I've ever seen him hit, and he probably right now should be thinking that exact same thing that he saw yesterday when he hit it.
Johnny Miller is going with a 3-wood off the tee, and this is a real good play for him because even though the fairways are soft, you can hit that driver through the fairway real easy.
Couples in 92, a course record 63, and then Greg Norman tied that in 94.
And it's so hard for the gallery to restrain themselves. They're so excited. I mean, and so Fred wants them to be as calm as he is.
Well, he's got it heading up the right side. He's got to turn over. He's going to catch the right rough.
Well, not where he wants it, because that leaves some possibilities. Colin makes his putt there, and birdie 17. Who knows what might happen?
As we said at the start today, liberal or conservative, risk or reward.
Let's take a look at this swing. I'm not. If I was in the same position, I probably would have done the same thing. Playing the ball well forward in his stance. Let's take a look at his head action and see if he slides his left hip in front of it. Very quiet, 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 quiet. And watch the hip action. A lot of times he gets so far in front of it with his lean in there, gets little ahead. And I'm sure his last thought was, hey, I can live with a little right, but I'm not going left.
Let's go to 15 and Tommy Tolles, 3rd shot.
Tough little shot. Stay up there. Don't go down that hill.
So he has a tough putt for his par to 17.
Back at 16.
16.
Colin Montgomery. This to stay within 2. All of a sudden, what was a very close race so far today. No bogeys for Colin. Just birdies at 5, 7, 9, and 14, plus the eagle at 2.
Those 2 roars by Couples gang out there, I'm sure, are very disconcerting and didn't help the guys.
And 3 shots back. Let's go to 15.
So it's Tommy Tolles now in 2nd place, and this for his par.
Well, this is about 15 feet, and it's just gotten over the crest of the hill, John. So I think the very, very first part of this putt is straight. And then it should move right as it gets near the hole, but very slightly. Just to keep from going 3 behind. Disappointing.
Well, like lightning striking, Fred Couples' success, followed by some hiccups by Montgomery and Tolles, and now Couples with a cushion as he has to play a tough second shot at 18.
I don't know if he will be aware of what's happening on the leaderboard right now, because a lot has happened by two guys who were right with him, obviously, and I don't know, that could change whether or not he just sort of lays it up with a wedge and hits another wedge, or tries to be a little bit more bold. But you can see he's got not only rough but some trees, and water is the big issue left. So,
well, Johnny's got a good lie over here, but if he goes at this green, I don't know if you'd call it stupidity or not, but he'd have to aim it probably 20 yards out into the water and cut it around there. I think the best play is probably just take a pitching wedge over top.
let's look at it. We've seen this. You can see the ball is just right in this area right here. And these trees, you can't tell too much, but they're sticking out enough that he's got to aim like right in this area and move it back to the right. And when you're in the rough, you're asking an awful lot when you're trying to move the ball left to right, even though Fred can hit that shot as well as anybody. But he knows what he's doing right now.
Not unlike the shot by Tolles yesterday, where he laid up, made bogey, and preserved his two-shot lead going into this final round.
Looks like an X out there.
Johnny, I'm not sure he knows that right now he's holding a three-shot lead, and you know, he didn't know that Colin Montgomery made bogey back there on 16, so that may make it, you know, if he knew that he had that, he may just lay this ball up. But I think it's his only play anyway. I don't think he. I think he can make 4 from 100 yards in front of the green, but he certainly can make 6 or 7 if he tries to go out and around. It appears that he's taken some sort of a 4-iron or something. He may try to hit something, a real hard cut, and keep it low and try to run it up the gap. Not much loft on this club, so I'm guessing this is either a 3 or 4-iron.
If I was a caddy, I think I would have taken and handed him 3 clubs and run away with the rest of them. Would have been sand wedge, pitching wedge, and a 9-iron.
He's swinging like he's going to take a full rip at it and just try to really cut this ball hard. Boy, what a great shot. Going towards the right front of the green. Could catch those mounds over there. That is one heck of a golf shot there. You don't know how good that is.
Wow, what courage by Couples, and then the execution.
Well, like I said, I'm not sure he knew exactly how many in front he was, and that was a gutsy shot, obviously.
To 16,
Tommy Tolles, drive at 16. And a beautiful drive, very soft in that low part to the left of the fairway at 16. And let's go to 17.
Tee shot, Colin Montgomery, 9-iron. Coming off the bogey at 16, must shoot at the pin, and does. The other ball belongs to Ernie Els. And they head to 18.
36-year-old Fred Couples, a former champion of the Players Championship, initially introduced to golf by his father, who worked for the Seattle Parks and Recreation Department. Arguably the most popular golfer on the circuit, and he is greeted by a standing ovation.
the last 3 holes, what talent he has displayed both outside and inside. 8 under par, final round coming to 18.
That might have been the most exciting shot he hit all day. And he just, I guess, feels like if there's anybody in the world that can play that shot, it's him. He can hit that high sort of block fade. He actually did it on number 16 on the second shot. Look, I was going in the water, but it's his shot. But under the circumstances, an amazing one. What about this shot?
Johnny, he's, you know, the thing about that last shot, he's out there 185 yards away, and, you know, that's what makes it so difficult, and not so much the play of the, you know, this the length of the shot that really made that. I'm kind of questioning this play here with the putter. It looks like, you know, with the softness of the greens, I think you could pitch it back on that slope and get the ball to check up, but who am I to second guess him at this point? But well, he's obviously very comfortable with this putter in his hands.
He might have just seen the leaderboard as Caddy informed him that the position he's in now, 3-shot lead, he can sort of just, you know, get it up there for a par option bogey with that putter. Nothing worse can happen.
17.
Montgomery, 4 birdie. No, pushed it. Back to 18.
You know, the hard thing about this is because of the going through so much fringe and coming up over that ridge, it's going to be real hard to get the right speed on this. I think if he was going to take a little sandwich, he would take the fringe out of the play and pitch it onto the green. He may be a little bit more successful, but I think if he can get this within 3 or 4 feet, he'll be very, very happy.
Just want to get it up there inside about 10 feet and take his chances from there. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. A dream finish.
That putt for a 3-2-4 and a 64 final round.
Freddie.
Meanwhile, at 16.
Tommy Tolles, 232 yards to the flag. 2-iron, got mud all over the top of the ball. Oh, it's left and low. Watch out, trees.
Well, he just missed that bunker up there by those trees, Roger. I know he feels disappointed now, but, you know, he's played in the last pairing Sunday at New Orleans and here. I think you're going to hear a lot from that young man. He has played very well. Let's go to 18.
Scott Gump playing with Fred Couples.
Well, Scott's hit the ball fantastic on the back nine. Just haven't been able to do anything with the putter. Looking for his biggest check of the year, maybe of his career.
1 over for his round. He doubled 17. A 30-year-old from Orlando, and 5th year on the tour out of the University of Miami.
So many good players, Johnny Miller. It's, you know, in that middle age group. I use that middle age, 24, 25 years old. It seems like out here anymore. But this kid really played a solid round today and had a lot of opportunities for birdie. And then, you know, unfortunately knocks it over the green, makes double on 17. But real good tournament for him. See if he can knock this in for par.
'73 final round for Scott Gump, and he was eyewitness to some spectacular play by the man who's about to win this championship, Fred Couples.
Straight as you get.
For the best ever final round in the 22-year history of this event.
Maybe the most exciting also.
richest event of the golf season. $630,000 to the winner who played it so richly. Tommy Tolles, an outside chance if he could call upon some heroics. Let's check on how he's doing at 16.
First thing he has to do is make a birdie here. Roger, if you checked his lie.
He's got a pretty good lie, Dave. He got a bad break on the tee shot with the mud all over the ball, but got a good break here. He's got a good lie. Slightly awkward stance next to this bunker, but all things considered, it could have been a lot worse.
What do you think he's going to try to do? He's got a bad angle, doesn't he, to try to get it close?
Well, not too bad, really. He can fly to the back part. And now let it release.
Oh, good shot.
That's a good play.
All right, Tommy Tolles, 15 under and 3 shots back of Fred Couples. He needs a birdie here, and at 17 and at 18. Can he get it and catch this man? This for a birdie at 16 to get to 16 under and just 2 strokes back of Fred Couples. This from about 8 feet. And I hope he doesn't read too much break in it. This ball today has been moving to the player's left coming down the hill, but not much. Oh, he got it outside the hole. No, don't be disappointed yet. Get you another birdie. Get second all by yourself, and you'll have a wonderful day. Well, sometimes you feel like, and every player's had that feeling when that was your last chance. But who knows? You might hold it out over there, going over to 17 and make that shot. But he's really got to be proud of the way he's played the last couple of weeks. But missing a birdie here at 16 was really not good. And we'll see the putt all over again down the hill, just at the right side, and just stayed there. And as Tommy Tolles walks over to 17 with Fred Couples in the house at 18 under and 3 strokes ahead of Montgomery and Tolles.
Welcome back. Looking down on the 18th fairway, the boundary, the lake on the left, and Colin Montgomery is at 18, but at 17, Tommy Tolles.
Okay, Dick. As Tommy walked to the green at 14, he heard the tremendous roar. That was the eagle at 16 by Fred Couples, which changed this championship. Nine iron, Roger.
Yes, it is, and a good-looking shot, a little left of the flag. Get down. Here it comes back.
Roger, you think he isn't playing to win?
I don't think there's any question. That face on the 16th green said it all. It wasn't about money today. It was all about winning the Players' Championship.
Well, let's move up to 18.
Where Fred Couples has joined us after just sending a jolt of electricity through this huge gallery of some 30,000 at the TPC today. What a finish for you.
Well, it was best round of golf I played in a long, long time. It was thrilling. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Tommy Tolles and Colin, I was trying to get ahead of them. And when that putt went in on 16, it was, the second shot was hanging and hanging and hanging. I had an uphill line. I didn't think it was going to get enough and walk away with the 3. That's when you know your day's going good.
Well, I'll tell you, the whole finish was just so much electricity, and I mean, it's so exciting to watch. I was loving what you were doing. I was hoping the other guys for us would hang in there a little tighter, but boy, the minute you sort of put the hammer down on 16 and 17, it just sort of floodgates just opened.
Well, as you know, it can go the other way for me, and I made a couple putts. I missed about a 2-footer on 11, and I just said, I'm tired of this, and I started talking to myself, and I just tried to get comfortable. And again, when I got to 17, hitting on that green, in the downhill putt. I think any putt downhill, I can at least shake it down there. And when it went in, at the same time, Monty, I think, had just hit a second shot in. And, of course, if I could just hit a decent 3-wood on 18, and the second shot's not scary for me. I can slice it with anybody.
Here's Colin Montgomery, his third shot into 18. He, too, like Couples, was off the fairway right, laid up to this point. 5 under for the day, Montgomery.
Well, now he's regrouping, trying to get the best finish he can get. Pretty deep there with the divot.
That for his par to stay 3 behind Couples and a share of the lead at the moment with Tommy Tolles, who has a birdie chance at 17. Well, let's review your work today, Fred Couples. You started 4 shots back of Tommy Tolles. Let's go out early in your round as you started to manufacture a sequence of birdies here on 3 to go 11 under.
Yeah, I hit a 7-iron in the back tier, and not a tough putt. And again, to catch him, you got to make some birdies somewhere.
Now it's 6.
And I had gotten very lucky here. I drove it in the right rough and caught a tree actually coming out of there. And again, not a fluke, but nice to see.
And at 8, your tee shot?
With a 4-iron, one of the best shots I hit all week. It went right at the flag, and I think I'm swinging better. You know, Paul, my teacher, came down on Thursday and watched, and you know, I hit a lot of shots like that this week. Very few went 2 feet from the hole.
That took you to 14 under, then to 12.
This I hit a big drive. Been hitting driver all week and had about a 65-yard shot. I saw Scott Gumps take the spin coming back, and you know, after missing a short putt, but this is a little uphill. I didn't have very far. I had about 220.
This is the biggest shot of the day.
Well, you know, it's a sucker pin, and I'm hitting a big cut in there, and this is unbelievable. But
do you think it was wet?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to kid anybody. I'm laughing with Joe, and again, not a difficult putt. But I'm not used to making these, and when I make them, I seem to make them all. But obviously, I needed to regroup, and I get pretty emotional out there. In 17 and 18, you can make anything. But again, a downhill putt, and I barely hit this, and it's just going and going. And right then, I know it's in.
Oh, you had this place rocking. Fred Couples in the clubhouse with a sensational round. Now Tommy Tolles at 17.
For birdie.
That's 3 straight putts, very makeable putts.
Well, that was a good putt. This guy's a very good player.
I think he can't believe a few people are actually laughing about that.
Well, you know, if you remember Jeff Sluman a few years back, a guy, he's got a 6 or 8 footer jumps in the water on him, but he needs to just, you know, do himself some good and make par in 18.
And for par, Colin Montgomery, and wide to the right all the way. He'll bogey here at 18. Finish with a 68 today. And now the battle for second place, which is a significant amount of money, $378,000 to the runner-up, $140,000 more than third place. As you think about the whole round, what will you remember 5 years from now?
You know, I remember tonight, actually, the whole day. It was, you know, when you're that far back, and I say that far, there was 20 guys that could possibly win, and it was just one of those rounds. And 64 for me, that's what I shot when I won last time, a 64-1 round. But I'll just remember I hit some very good shots, and it's fun to do that, especially I've been at tournaments where I haven't hit many, and I try and regroup, and today I can hopefully bounce back and play some good golf the rest of the year.
Well, let's take a look at this. We got a little bit more to show you here, and we loved it. This is a shot here. We talked about it.
This is going at the scoreboard, and all I'm trying to do is just make sure I cut it. And again, I'm taking too much club, and if it overcuts, it's going to go into the gallery. But you know, I mean, that's a shot I don't feel uncomfortable with. 10 years ago, I might not have hit it as good, but and here's a putt. You know, up through the swale, the first 5 or 6 feet, and you know, I'm better at this distance sometime than 4 feet, but I was glad it rolled up that close.
That was just a magical finish. I mean, That's one of those things you got to just smile so much you might hurt your lips.
Well, I was biting my lip walking up half the holes. I was kind of laughing and chewing on it. But again, I haven't won in a long time on our tour. I've won a couple other places, so I just feel great about the way I played, and it was fun.
Did you ever think? Did you know that you had a 3-shot lead? That second shot, would you have played it safer had you known?
Stupid is probably the way, not safe. Again, it was not that hard. I drew a good lie. I'd have probably done the same thing. Chipping out, then you wedge it over the green or way short and 3-putt or do anything. I just assume I can hit those. And as long as now, if it was a hook, I probably would have laid up. A draw is hard for me, but it was not that difficult.
Let's go out to 18. David Duval was in the final group with Tommy Tolles.
Has birdied at 16 and 17, and considerable amount of money he's still playing for too. Had a 3-wood up the left side of the fairway, perfect.
Roger.
Yes.
Do you think his play was affected when he found out he was being timed so early in the final round in the last group?
I really don't. Are you asking me if David Duval was play affected or Tommy's?
Oh, either one.
I don't believe so. I don't believe either one. They got back in pace very soon. And this one he's hung out to the right. Going at the right rough. Watch out, cart path. That's in the area.
So Tolles, who needs a par here to earn sole possession of second place. You can see his biggest career paycheck will be much higher than that $81,000. Second place $378 today, and third is $238. So Tommy Tolles, work yet to be done. Will he finish second? Colin Montgomery, bogey at 18, has fallen a shot behind. Mediate, Perry, Zeller, Duval, 13 under. Jay Haas for birdie to go 13 under.
Not much break.
A tap in will have a 71 today, finish at 12 under.
Boy, that was a great effort there. He hit it right edge and stayed straight as an arrow. Mr. Consistency these days.
And Michael Bradley playing with Haas in the second to last group, and Bradley is 2 over for his round. And a 74. Shown some true flashes of bright play in this 1996 season, Bradley. Out of the fairway, and Roger Maltby is there.
Well, Tommy Tolles' ball came to rest on the cart path to the right of the fairway here, and he's taken relief. He's got a tree in his way, about 15 yards. Would have to play. He's got 200 yards to the hole. He would have to play a pronounced left to right shot from here. And boy, there's a lot of money at stake. This is really a dicey situation, John.
Fred's right here. He knows how to play this.
I was right there, Roger. Maybe. I mean, I had a very good lie, and I overcut a 2-iron. But, Tommy's a great worker of the ball. I've only played with him once, but I watch him hit balls. And
well, his cut shot is not his favorite shot, and I don't know really what he's going to accomplish with that longer club, but he's an aggressive player. I'll tell you, I am so impressed with this guy. I think he's going to be a star. I really believe that. This is not just a 1-week special.
And he's changed from a 4-iron to a 3. Easier to cut a flat-faced club. Oh, and he's got it cutting, and it's overdone a little bit, going at the very right side.
Well, that's a great shot.
Didn't get the greatest result. Usually the ball will kick straight off there, and it took a hop, Roger, up into just by the cart path and long grass and nestled down.
Tommy Tolles, who has led a good portion of this Players Championship. It's his first ever
tour around the TPC at Sawgrass, and as you've heard from our expert commentators, many feel that there's some great moments ahead for this young man.
A lot of thoughts going through his mind right now. Just, man, what could have been. It's been a great week, but.
Now Duvall's approach.
This from 183 yards. 5-iron.
Right.
Just right of the flag. Good looking shot if it's the right distance.
David, who stumbled early on this backside, but birdies at 16 and 17, and a birdie chance at 18 to go 14 under.
Obviously a great young player.
Well, Fred, I think for me, one of the thrills today in watching your last 3 holes was the reaction of Johnny and Dave Marr and Paul and all of our experts. And the men who play the game were more excited, I think, even than the fans themselves.
Well, I think, you know, there's a lot of people that pull hard for me, and as anyone else, you know, I try and do my best. I just felt really comfortable today. Obviously, if you're shooting 64, you better feel comfortable. But, you know, Dan Pohl, I was looking at him a lot, trying to figure something out, you know, but not try and think all this stuff. And this is a fun walk. I mean, these two guys are going to be around a long time. In '84, I was so nervous, I don't even remember anyone up there. Today, it was a little different feeling. I could at least enjoy it. But it's a lot of fun to get that kind of a reception when you're coming up to any green, especially 18th here.
Congratulations. Go work on your victory speech.
Okay, Dick, thanks.
Nice going, Freddie.
Red Couples. Thomas Lewis Tolles Jr. is certainly a part of this story in 1996 on the first coast. And, of course, many here cheering David Duvall, who grew up in Jacksonville, father a golf pro, now at Amelia Island. So with Tolles at 15 under, Montgomery in the clubhouse 14 under, and with a birdie, Duvall could move to 14 under. Look at the differences in this huge, rich day in golf.
You can imagine 378,000 per second. Difficult shot. Got to swing with the slope. Takes a gutsy shot at it. I'm telling you, don't know how good that is. That is a gutsy shot to hit it that hard and slide it under the ball.
That left for his par.
That was very well done.
Johnny, you know well how times have changed. We saw Sam Snead, who was here this week. He won 81 titles, more than anyone. And the total earnings were $620,000 in his career. And the winner today gets $10,000 more than that.
Oh, gee, that is amazing. But golf has really, really grown. But really what the purists see and the real golfer sees is, and gets excited about is finishes like Fred Couples. I try to remain impersonal in my excitement about things like that. It wouldn't have mattered to me if it was any one of these players. To see that finish the Couples had, that magical finish, that's what really excites me. And it excites me also to see these young players in the last 3 weeks that have won, and I thought it might happen again. And especially the Tolles is so impressive. And this young player who won last year, if you can imagine, $881,000 his first year on the Pro Tour. And really a local guy. I thought maybe he was the guy, the young guy that was going to win for the first time. But he knows he's going to be back. This is a great player right here.
Big putt, Roger.
It sure is. There's a big swing in cash involved with this one. This about just over 16, 17 feet.
Doesn't do much, Raj.
No, might go a little left as it loses speed, but that's about it. Not much break at all.
So Duvall will remain at 13 under with Mediate, Perry, and Zeller in the 4th position.
Well, with bad shoulder problems that have kept him sidelined much of this spring, David Duval is back healthy and playing up to his sensational rookie year of 1995.
Roger, just pretty straight from there, don't you think?
Back up the hill, not much to it, John. And, you know, we really don't pull for guys very much, but I am pulling for this kid to make this. He has really been a classy individual today.
His hands are actually shaking. They just, I don't blame him. I would be too.
Tolles with a 72 final round and finishes in a tie for second with Colin Montgomery, earning a lot of fans along the way. Finished third last week at New Orleans behind Scott McCarron and Tom Watson, and tie for second today among the biggest names in the game, Fred Couples and Colin Montgomery. And we'll have the presentation of the Players Championship here at TPC at Sawgrass, and Fred Couples will hear the approval of this gallery once again when we come back. What a finish by the star Fred Couples today. He showed you what greatness is. Welcome to the TPC at Sawgrass. The Players Championship is now history. 12th PGA Tour title in 12 years for Fred Couples, as we go to our Dean Witter shot of the day. Let's go to 16, second shot.
Side hill lie. Gonna play cut. It's moving right. What a bounce.
Couples admitted he thought he was in the water. That's a lip flapping piece of drama, and he makes eagle from there on his way to this championship. And here is that eagle putt. Might have been able to hear that roar in Jacksonville, the Dean Witter shots of the day.